being here today. A couple of points to make. Firstly, I want to again extend best wishes to all of those in North Queensland who are affected by the floods. I was talking to the Premier, or texting with the Premier earlier this morning, and speaking with Bob Catter earlier, and it's good that the Prime Minister's up there visiting as well. There are a lot of people who have had devastation as a result of the floods to their properties and to their businesses and to their families, and obviously the loss of 2 lives. So it's a stark reminder of the reality, particularly living in North Queensland, as Bob reminded me about the weather events that they have up there, and we hope that there is a speedy recovery and that people can listen to the advice of all of the experts, and we really honour the work of the first responders as well. I also wanted to let you know that I've written to the Prime Minister today asking for an independent inquiry in relation to the fact that the Prime Minister of our country wasn't notified for 9 days, 10 days of what was believed to be the biggest planned terrorist attack in our country, in our country's history. And it's inconceivable that the Prime Minister didn't know about it. It's inconceivable, if you think about it, during the conversations that the Prime Minister had with the Premier, who had been briefed on the 20th of January, that neither the Premier nor the Prime Minister raised the issue in the discussions. Wouldn't Chris Minns, when he spoke to the Prime Minister, mention that, what do you think is happening with this matter? Do you know something? Have we had any further information from the authorities about this investigation? Not one word was uttered between the Premier and the Prime Minister for 9 days. It doesn't ring true. And I know the Prime Minister can run around with all sorts of theories about why he can't disclose the date that he was advised by the Australian Federal Police for national security reasons. But again, that's not a credible story either. The Prime Minister keeps chopping and changing his position. That's exactly why there needs to be an independent inquiry in relation to this matter. An eminent Australian from the criminal intelligence and law enforcement intelligence community needs to be appointed to conduct this review, because it can't happen again. And I think that is a very clear message. Also very pleased that the government has seen fit to support our proposal in relation to mandatory sentences for acts of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, as we know, have no place in our community, in our country whatsoever. And the escalation that's taken place since October 7 of 23 has been a national shame and a national disgrace. And entirely predictable, though, of course, because people knew no red lines and people continued to push boundaries. Protests continued, the doxing continued, the graffiti, the hate, the racism, and all of it continued unabated. And unless people know that there is a consequence for their actions, it will continue, and we're not going to allow that. So the Prime Minister's seen fit to support the position that we've advocated, and we're very happy for that. I'll hand over to James, and then I'm happy to take some questions.